Hi everybody, so welcome back to another day of the Twits. Getting really good now. Let's see what chapters we're going to. So today we're reading 17, 18 and 19. So let's do the ones we've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're going to read 17, 18 and 19, which are those three. So we're going to start with the Great Upside Down Monkey Circus. So we have so far, we know there's 4 monkeys, but we haven't really learned that much about them. So I think today, looking at the title, we're going to be learning a lot about the monkeys. So let's get started. Okay, so this chapter is called The Great Upside Down Monkey Circus. And there we can see the 4 monkeys. Now, for the monkeys. The 4 monkeys in the cage in the garden were all one family. They were Mugglewump and his wife and their 2 children. But what on earth were Mr. and Mrs. Twit doing with monkeys in their garden? Well, in the old days, they had both worked in the circus as monkey trainers. They used to teach monkeys to do tricks, to dress up in human clothes, and to smoke pipes and all the rest of the nonsense. Today, although they were retired, Mr. Twit still wanted to train monkeys, as it was a dream that one day he would own the first great upside-down monkey circus in the world. That meant that the monkeys had to do everything upside down. They had to dance upside down, on their hands with their feet in the air. They had to play football upside down. They had to balance one on top of the other upside down, with Mugglewump at the bottom and the smallest baby monkey at the very top. They even had to drink and eat upside down, and that's not an easy thing to do because food and water has to go up your throat instead of down it. In fact, it is almost impossible because but the monkeys simply had to do it, otherwise they got nothing. This all sounds pretty silly to you and to me, and it sounded pretty silly to the monkeys too. They absolutely hated having to do everything upside down. Nonsense day after day. It made them giddy standing on their head hours on end. Sometimes the 2 smaller monkeys would faint with so much blood going to their heads, but Mr. Twit didn't care about that. He kept them practicing for 6 hours every day, and if they didn't do as they were told, Mrs. Twit would soon come running out with her beastly stick. So these poor monkeys, well, they are poor monkeys, but it's really not a surprise that Mr. Twit is treating them like this because he doesn't seem to treat anything very nicely. So, these monkeys, why is the chapter called The Great Upside Down Monkey Circus? Can you remember why? So, what was Mr. Twit's plan? He wanted to create the first great upside down monkey circus, didn't he, in the whole world? So, what does he make the monkeys do? He makes them do everything upside down. He makes them eat upside down, drink upside down, play football upside down, stand on top of each other, everything upside down. Do you think it's easy? No. Can you remember what they said was nearly impossible to do upside down? It's nearly impossible to eat upside down because your throat here, when you eat, it's got to go up a little bit and then it goes down. But it can't do that if you're upside down. It's really, really hard to eat and drink upside down. And I wouldn't recommend you try it at home. Let's carry on with our story. So the next chapter is called The Roly-Poly Bird to the Rescue. Yes, finally the Roly-Poly Bird. And this is the first time we've met the Roly-Poly Bird. So we've got a new character and looks like the Roly-Poly Bird is a good character, which is really good. Mugglewump and his family longed to escape from the cage in Mr. Twit's garden and go back to the African jungle where they had come from. They hated Mr. and Mrs. Twit for making their lives so miserable. Oh, that's a good word, miserable. They also hated them for what they did to the birds every Tuesday and Wednesday. Fly away, birds! they used to shout, jumping in their cage, waving their arms. Don't sit on the big dead tree. It's just been smeared all over with sticky glue. Go and sit somewhere else. So look, there they are. They are trying to warn the birds not to sit on the tree. I wonder why the birds don't listen. Let's find out, shall we? But these weren't English birds. They couldn't understand the weird African language that the monkeys spoke. So they took no notice and they went on using the big dead tree and getting caught for Mrs. Twit's bird pie. Then one day a truly magnificent bird flew down from the sky and landed on the monkey cage. Good heavens! Cried all the monkeys together. It's the Roly-Poly bird. What on earth are you doing over here in England, Roly-Poly bird? Like the monkeys, the Roly-Poly bird came from Africa, and he spoke the very same language as they did. I've come for a holiday, said the Roly-Poly bird. I like to travel. He fluffed his marvellous coloured feathers and rather grandly at the monkeys. For most people, he went on, flying away on holiday is very expensive, but I can fly anywhere in the world for nothing. Do you know how to talk to these English birds? Mugger One asked him. Oh, of course I do, said the Roly-Poly bird. It's no good going to a country and not knowing the language. Then we must hurry, said Mugger-Wump. Today's Tuesday. Over there, you can already see the revolting Mr. Twit up the ladder painting sticky glue all over the branches of the big dead tree. This evening, when the birds come to roost, you must warn them not to perch on the tree, or they'll be made into bird pie. That evening, the Roly-Poly bird flew around the big dead tree, singing out, There's sticky stuff over on the tree. If you land on the branches, you'll never get free. So fly away, stay up high, or you'll finish up tomorrow in hot bird pie. So we have got quite a lot of exciting things happening now in the story. Do you think that the Roly-Poly bird will manage to warn the birds so they don't go in the bird pie? I really hope so. Right, let's have a look at what's on the next page. So our last chapter for today. It says no bird pie for Mr. Twit. Now I can already see from the title that we're going to get a good result because it says that Mr. Twit's not having any bird pie this week, which is really good. That means that, what does it mean? The Roly-Poly bird must have been successful. Well done, Roly-Poly bird. So let's read our last chapter. It's a very short chapter. The next morning, when Mr. Twit came out with a huge basket to snatch all the birds from the big dead tree, there wasn't a single one on it. They were all sitting on top of the monkey cage. The Roly-Poly bird was there as well, and Mugger-Wump and his family were all inside the cage. The whole lot of them were laughing at Mr. Twit. Wow, look at them all there. They're all sat on top of the cage, all the birds and the monkeys inside. So, how do you think Mr. Twit feels? He's come outside, he wants his bird pie. It's Wednesday, he's really looking forward to it. But there's no birds to have his bird pie. And to make it even worse, all of the birds and the monkeys are all laughing at Mr. Twit. How do you think he feels? I think he might feel angry. Maybe he feels upset. I would say he is more angry than anything else. What do you think he might do next? He's really, really angry. He wants his bird pie. The birds didn't sit on the tree. What do you think he might do next? Well, that will be in our next chapter tomorrow. So make sure you think. What do you think he's going to get the birds? Have a think about it. And let's see if you're right tomorrow. And thank you for watching the video today, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for another, we've got another 3 chapters tomorrow, for another 3 chapters of the Twits. Bye.